Shalom, shalom. It is February the 12th, 2025, 10:24 a.m. Good morning, good morning. Shalom, shalom, which means peace, peace be with you all. Peace, peace. I'm just going to jump right in. Thank you all for tuning into this video. Thank you all for watching all of the other videos that you watched thus far. Thank you all for participating and supporting the information and learning and growing. Today, as you all can see, the topic is too blessed to be stressed. Too blessed to be stressed. Too blessed to be stressed is a phrase most of us have either said at some point or heard someone else say. It usually means life and I are too good to entertain nonsense right now. How do you measure being blessed? How do you measure your life as being blessed? What do you use to classify your life as being a blessed life? This is a question I want you all to ponder and consider. For most of us, we usually say something to the effect of, I have my health, a place to live, food, clothes on my back, and I'm not begging anyone for anything. That's usually what most of us would say. Some others may also add that they have money in the bank, can do what they want when they want without having to do without. Some may even add in the fact that they have good credit, can get whatever they want at any time without having to get a co-signer, without having to put a lot of money down or even any money down for some purchases at all. For most of us, these answers would be examples of being blessed, and if we had to decide to walk away from what we have been able to gain, most of us would decline. Most of us would decline. Let me read that again. For most of us, these answers would be examples of being blessed. And if we had to decide to walk away from what we have been able to gain, most of us would decline. Would you agree with that? Would you agree with that statement that if you had the opportunity to walk away from the things that you have been able to obtain in the present day, that you would decline? You would decline to walk away from it, right? Most of us. You know, there is this time in history where our forefathers felt the same way. There was a time in history where our forefathers felt the same way. In the book of Jeremiah, between chapters 41 and 44, and I'm not going to read all of those. I'm not going to read all of that. The remnant of Judah was on the run for their lives. Judah had been conquered by Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. Some of them had been killed, some imprisoned, and some were left in Judah under the rulership of an appointed ruler that Nebuchadnezzar had put in charge. However, that ruler was killed, and now the remnants of Judah that were still alive were running for their lives. Egypt was their destination to escape from further persecution. On their journey, they asked the prophet Jeremiah to pray to Yah on their behalf, to seek instructions and guidance on what they should do and where should they go, vowing that whatever Yah would speak to them, to be good or bad, they would obey. Listen to that now. Vowing that whatever Yah would speak to them, be it good or bad, they would obey. Let's read briefly what was said in Jeremiah 44 verses 2 to 30. And I want you all to remember, this is what we're reading is going to be a response to the prayer that they asked Jeremiah to pray on their behalf to the Most High, seeking instruction. And they made the vow that whatever the Most High said to them, that they will obey. But we're going to see how this unfolds, right? We're going to see how this unfolds. And we're going to bring it full circle. So this is the Most High's response. Thus says the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharel, you have seen all the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem. Talking to Judah now. and upon all the cities of Judah. And behold, this day they are desolate, and no man dwelleth therein, because of their wickedness which they have committed to provoke me to anger, in that they went to burn incense, sage, candles, to serve other gods whom they knew not, neither they, you, nor your fathers. Howbeit I sent unto you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. He sent the prophets to tell the people, stop doing this stuff. Stop idol worshiping. Stop worshiping false gods. Stop burning sage. Stop burning incense. Stop burning candles honoring false gods. And yet they did not listen to the prophets. Therefore, the destruction fell upon the land. But they hearkened not, nor inclined their ear to turn from their wickedness to burn no incense unto other gods. Therefore my fury, and my anger was poured forth, and was kindled in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, and they were wasted and desolate as at this day. Note, as at this day. Judah and Jerusalem is still desolate. Regardless of what they may tell you about Jerusalem and Israel as a whole, the land is still desolate. Therefore, now thus says the Most High, the Elohim of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharel, wherefore commit you this great evil against your souls, to cut off from you man and woman, child and suckling, out of Judah, to leave you none to remain, and that you provoke me unto wrath with the works of your hands, burning incense unto other gods in the land of Egypt, whether you be gone to dwell, that you might cut yourselves off, and that you might be a curse and a reproach among all the nations of the earth. So in other words, he's saying, why did you cause this great exile from Judah? This was at your hands that you caused this great exile from Judah. Why did you do that? And now you want to go to Egypt to continue to do wrong and bring further damnation upon yourselves? This is what he's asking them. Because this is what they wanted. They wanted to go into Egypt. They wanted to go into Egypt to avoid further persecution. But they haven't corrected their ways yet. They haven't mended their ways. They have not repented of the wrong that they were doing yet. And because they haven't repented, and because of the fact that they were doing wrong previously, and their fathers were, and their grandfathers were, that is why all of the calamity fell on Judah in the first place. So the Most High is saying, you want to go to another land and continue to do wrong, so that even more damnation can fall on you. Verse 9, have you forgotten the wickedness of your fathers, and the wickedness of the kings of Judah, and the wickedness of their wives, and of your own wickedness, and the wickedness of your wives, which they have committed in the land of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? Yah is really asking them, do you really think all of what has happened without cause? Do you think everything that has happened without cause? Did you forget? Did you forget that this is what you all have been doing for a long time? You have been doing this for a long time. It's like being in a relationship with someone who had nothing coming into the relationship except for what you provided for them, and they went out and cheated on you. You found out, and then you kicked them out of your house. You took your car, and they had no money because you was providing them with everything, and they seem to not understand why you no longer want to deal with them. So I want y'all to get that example. For those of you who have been in a relationship with someone who you accepted them for who they were, knowing that they was coming into the relationship pretty much with nothing, and you was helping to build them up. And I know this is a bad a bad thing in our community, especially with the women. We have this tendency to get these men who are not doing their best, and we try to help build them up. And in the process of us helping them build them up, they're making us look like a fool by running out here with all these other women, or with another woman in general, and using your car to go sneaky link with somebody else, and everything that they got is because of you. It's like you wouldn't have nice clothes. You wouldn't have a nice car to drive. You wouldn't look as good as you look. You wouldn't be well taken care of if it wasn't for me. And so therefore, since you want to be out there in the streets, go ahead and be out there in the streets. But then once they get out in the streets, they realize all of this stuff that they had, that good life that they had, there's no longer available to them. And they're trying to understand, why don't we have these things anymore? I'm going to go over here and try to still live that life that I had, but I'm looking to the Most High to make it happen. But how can he make it happen when we've done what he told us not to do, which was serve other gods, right? So number 10, they are not humble, even unto this day. Even today, we are not humble. Neither have they fear. We do not respect the Most High. We say that we love him, but we do not respect the Most High. Nor walk in my law, nor my statutes that I set before you and before your father. We do not abide by the laws. We do not abide by the judgments. We do not abide by anything that the Most High has instructed us, have given us for understanding in no counting way. They had no respect, no shame, no loyalty, and no sense of understanding of how this covenant works. They didn't. Therefore, thus said the Most High of Hosts, the Elohim of Yasharel, behold, I will set my face against you for evil, and to cut off all Judah. Listen to that. This is what the Most High is saying. He's saying that he will set his face against Judah for evil and will cut them off. That don't sound like nothing that anybody would want. Why would you want the Most High to set his face upon you for evil? You already know. You already know that's not going to be good for you. 11, therefore, thus said the Most High. Okay, I already read that. I apologize. 12, and I will take the remnant of Judah, the remaining of Judah, that have set their faces to go into the land of Egypt, to sojourn there, and they shall be, and they shall all be consumed and fall in the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. They shall even be consumed by the sword and by the famine. They shall die. From the least even unto the greatest, by the sword and by the famine. And they shall be an execration, a curse or an oath to oppress, is what is being said here. That's what the word execration means. A curse or oath to oppress. Something that someone is vowing that is not going to be good for you. And an astonishment, which means a waste. People will be appalled by you, is what he's telling us. And a curse. You will be trifling. You will be trifling. You will be vilification. You will be a vilification, or constantly seen or made into a villain. And a reproach. You will be a shaming and rebuke. You will be a shaming and a rebuke. So these are the things that are upon Judah from the time that they were exiled out of the promised land into present day. So you can look at us in today's time and look at these curses that he's saying that's going to be on us and ask yourself, does that not line up with us? Does that not line up with how the world views us? The label and the what's the word? When somebody attach something to you, is another word, I can't get it right now. When somebody what is the word? It's a word, I can't think of it right now, y'all. I can't think of the word right now. But it's when people attach labels to you as being this, and it encompasses the whole group of people. It's not just talking about one person. They look at us all as a particular way. When people put labels on you, it's another word, I just can't think of it, but I'm going to move on for the sake of time. 13, for I will punish them that dwell in the land of Egypt, as I have punished Jerusalem, by the sword, by famine, and by the pestilence. so that none of the remnant of Judah which are gone into the land of Egypt, which is the land of bondage, to sojourn there shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah, to the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. For none shall return but such as shall escape. Okay, we're going to read that again. So that none of the remnant of Judah, which are gone into the land of Egypt, and he's literally talking about the actual land of Egypt and beyond Egypt, because Egypt is also used in scripture to talk about bondage. So we're going to be, from that point, once we was exiled, we were in the land of Egypt itself, and we was taken into captivity and scattered all around the world through the transatlantic and the sub-Saharan slave trade, right? So it says, so that none of the remnant of Judah which are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall escape or remain, that they should return into the land of Judah. He don't want us to go back into the land of Judah, Judah until he allows us. We cannot just go into the promised land on our own accord. We have to be allowed entry by him. So we have to go through this punishment first. To the which they have a desire to return to dwell there. Our forefathers desired to go back home, but he would not allow them. For none shall return but such as shall escape. Now, who shall escape when it just says that they shall not escape or remain? He's talking about future generation. Future generation. So far away. So far away. This right here is in reference to the video I did last week, right? Remember in the last live we discussed those of us who will flee from Babylon in today's time, and the others who will eventually join us from around the world during the second Exodus. This is what is being referring. This is what this is referring to when he says, "For none shall return, but such shall escape." See, we are in a time now where we are being instructed once again. We are being instructed once again on what to do. So yes, it is counted to those who flee as those who actually would decide to flee and are successful in doing so. They are accounted to have escaped his wrath that's coming on the nations, right? So verse 15. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods, and all the women that stood by, a great multitude of them, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt, in Pathros, answered Jeremiah, saying, now listen to this now. Remember, they asked Jeremiah to pray to the Most High to seek instruction on what to do. And the Most High reply was, do y'all not understand why you're where you at? You're where you at because of your disobedience. You're where you at for generations of you all constantly worshiping false gods. That's why you're where you at, right? And they don't like that answer. They don't like that answer. They was expecting something on the lines of repent and turn back to me, and I'm going to turn back to you. But that's not what he said. He said, I'm going to turn my face to you for evil, and that you can't go back into your land. And that he's going to allow death and famine and everything like that to come upon them. And that's not what they want to hear. That's not what they want to hear. Even though they told Jeremiah, regardless of what the Most High tells you, we will honor it. We will obey. We will accept it as such and just walk it out. Whatever he tells us to do, we're just going to do it. But now, after Jeremiah has given them the report of what the Most High gave him to speak to them, this is what they're going to say. As for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of Yah, we will not hearken unto you. We will not hearken unto you. Listen, they're telling him straight up, okay, we know that we asked you to go and pray to the Most High on our behalf. But this response ain't what we was expecting, and we reject that. We reject that. We will not listen. So they're still being disobedient. Verse 17, but we will certainly do whatsoever thing goeth forth out of our own mouth. These people are bold. to burn incense unto the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we have done, we and our fathers, our kings, and our princes, in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem. For then had we plenty of victuals, and were well, and saw no evil. So now they're comparing. They're saying, you know what? What y'all is trying to put us through? Nah, we ain't gonna go through that. We're not gonna go through that. We're gonna do things the way that we was doing things before. We're gonna continue to burn incense to the Queen, and to the Queen of Heaven, and pour out drink offerings unto her. And we're gonna continue to honor these false gods, because when we was doing it, we was doing well. When we was doing the wrong thing, our outcome benefited us more, is what they're saying. When we were doing wrong, the benefits that we gained, we enjoyed those benefits more. This punishment the Most High is talking about sending us through, now we cast that down. We reject that. We're not gonna listen to that, because guess what? In this point in time, they think that they're in control. In this point in time, they really believe that they have a choice. They really believe that they can outcount or outvote the Most High when it comes to what he say is going to happen versus what they say is going to happen. The audacity. The audacity. Verse 18. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things, and have been consumed by the sword and by famine. So you want us to stop doing it, and we did. But then when we stopped doing it, bad started to follow us. Evil came upon us. The things that wasn't pleasing to us is what happened. So you're telling me it benefited me to go through the bad versus to experience the good? Even though when I was going through the good, I was pouring out drinks offering to the Queen of Heaven and honoring her by burning incense. We're going to take our chances with still doing it that way. And when we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured out drink offerings unto her, did we make our cakes to worship her and pour out drink offerings unto her without our men? Did we do it without our men? These are the women speaking now, because the women are the ones who were more so responsible for honoring the Queen of Heaven. Come on, she's a queen. She's a woman like us. We want to elevate the woman. We want to celebrate the woman. You know, we want to lift up the women. We want to lift up the woman. We want to have sisterhood. So we want to honor her too. Because if it's a king in heaven, surely there's a queen in heaven. So we're going to honor her. It was more so on the women's behalf who wanted to lift up the Queen of Heaven. But now the women are saying, did we do all of these things without our men? Like saying, if we were wrong, our men would have corrected us. If we were wrong, our men would have corrected us. But our men allowed us. Our men didn't correct us. So therefore, we was okay. And not only were we okay, but when we was doing these things, we was living in the life of luxury. In so many words, they looked at their life they had and said, we enjoy the things we have and the level of success that we have been able to obtain more than keeping a true connection with the Most High. They believed that they were too blessed to be stressed, as if being blessed can be measured merely by one's satisfaction with the life they live. Ain't that what we do? We measure our blessings according to how satisfied we are presently in the life that we have. That's how we do it. We measure our blessings according to how satisfied we are in our life or with our life, and our accomplishments and our ability to reach certain goals that we set for ourselves. That's how we measure our success and our blessings. So did they. They did the same thing. They did the same thing, and they said they believed that they were too blessed to be stressed, as if being a blessing, as if being blessed can be measured merely by one's satisfaction with the life they live, which caused them to be puffed up in their own ability and in their own belief of who was really in charge. And they bit the hand that created them without even batting an eye. Without even batting an eye. They thought they was in control, y'all. They thought they had the power. They thought they had the ability. They thought that they can reject what the word of the Most High had said. They thought they could cast that thing down. Oh yeah, they thought they could cast that thing down because they didn't agree with it. Because they didn't agree with it, they thought they can cast it down. We will do it our way and enjoy the life we had when we were serving these false gods. That's what they said. We would do it our way and enjoy life we had when we were serving these false gods. They said we were too blessed to be stressed with this nonsense you speak, and we would not accept these words as if they had a choice. They again rejected Yah, not wanting to take accountability for their past actions, their present actions, that caused all of the destruction that came on them. They forgot the covenant that they had, and they definitely forgot the power of Yah. They forgot his power. Therefore, they forced Yah to show them who they were not, and all that the things that they valued over him could not do for them in their time of need. That's what they did. They forced Yah to show them who was really running the show. It sounds so familiar to me. It sounds so familiar to me because that's how a lot of us do things. When someone presents the truth, because we don't agree with it. And normally we don't agree with it because we don't like what is being said. We don't like the discomfort. We don't like the pain. We don't like the thought of sacrificing. We don't like the thought of giving up something. We don't like the thought of having to make some changes. We don't like that. We don't like accountability. Then we reject the truth, and we rather hold on to the lies, and we rather hold on to being in a comfortable place because that's familiar, and this is what we like, and this is what we enjoy. So we're going to reject the truth, and we think that because we rejected it, it's not going to harm us anymore. We are so deceived in our own ways. We are so deceived in our own ways. And so our forefathers found out the hard way. They found out the hard way, and they're finding out the hard way continue on to this day. Jeremiah verse 20. Then Jeremiah said unto all the people, to the men and to the women, and to all the people which had given him that answer. To all of them they had given him that answer, saying, the incense that you burn in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, you and your fathers, your kings and your princes, and the people of the land, did not the Most High remember them, and came it not into his mind? So Jeremiah is reminding them, you think all these years of you all burning incense and following these false gods, you think that all these years, just because you got away from instant punishment, you thought you were good? You thought you were good? You thought you were good because you got away from instant punishment. You thought you were safe. You thought because life was grand that you were in right standing with the Most High. Did you ever think that one day he was going to reward you with the seeds you have sown? Have you ever thought about that? Did you ever think he was pleased with all this time of watching you and the family for generations abuse his mercy and his grace? Did you really think that he was happy? Did you really think he was pleased? Did you ever consider the fact that everything that you're doing that is displeasing to him is being stored up for a particular time, and that you're gonna reap what you have been sowing? Have you ever thought? 22. so that the Most High could no longer bear because of the evil of your doings, and because of the abominations which you have committed. Therefore is your land desolation, and an astonishment, and a curse without an inhabitant, as at this day, because you have burned incense, burning sage. You purging out all those evil spirits. You're lighting candles to all these false gods, and you're praying and you bowing down and honoring gods that you don't even realize you're honoring. You're just following suit. You're just doing the traditional thing that you've always been taught from your mom and from her mom, and it's a generational thing. So it got to be right. It got to be right. Because you have burned incense, and because you have sinned against the Most High, and have not obeyed the voice of the Most High, nor have you walked in his law. Oh, we got this thing now where his law is done away with. His law is done away with. So we don't have to do it. Nor in his statutes, nor in his testimonies. Therefore this evil has happened unto you at this day. It's the same thing with us now, y'all. Y'all have got to understand that what is happening in our community has happened because of what our forefathers did. What they passed down along the line called generational traditions. The traditions of man. The customs. The customary of our culture. We were giving wrong information. We was giving false understanding of how to please the Most High. We was giving false understanding of how to worship him, right? And so because we ignore the Most High's word, and we're going off of the word of man, and we're going off the word of woman, and we're going off of the word of people, and we rejected him because when we were doing it the world's way, we had the life that we wanted. We had the life that we wanted. We was able to party. We was able to shop. We were able to go on trips, go on vacations. We were able to just enjoy life. So we're going to continue to do it this way. 24. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people, and to all the women, pay attention, y'all women, because as I said, honoring the Queen of Heaven was more so something the women wanted to do. Because, hey, we women. Sisters got to stick with sisters. We got to uplift the women. We got to uplift this Queen of Heaven. We got to honor her. We got to celebrate Mother's Day. We got to do that because we deserve that. All that we go through. Pay attention, y'all. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto all the people and to all the women, hear the word of the Most High, all Judah that are in the land of Egypt. Again, Egypt, the actual land, and eventually Egypt became just the name for bondage. So wherever you go out, wherever you are sent out into bondage, wherever your ancestors have been sent to be enslaved, that's Egypt. That says the Most High of hosts, the Elohim of Yasharel, saying, you and your wives have both spoken with your mouths and fulfilled with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed to continue to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her. You will surely accomplish your vows and surely perform your vows. He said, you surely will. You will continue to do what you say you're going to do. Therefore, because you refuse to repent, because you refuse to let go of the world, because you refuse to stop celebrating these holidays, because you refuse to stop celebrating this Queen of Heaven who don't exist, because you refuse to obey the word and to heed to the word and the voice of the Most High. Therefore, you, the word of the Most High, all Judah that dwell in the land of Egypt, behold, I have sworn by my great name. This is the Most High talking. He said, I have sworn by my great name, said the Most High, that my name shall no more be named in the mouth of any man of Judah in all the land of Egypt. So no matter where you go, You will not know my name, because you will not continue to profane my name, use my name in vain. You will no longer defile my name, because you're using and saying my name out of your mouth, but your actions don't line up with me, and it don't line up with my people who truly love me. So therefore, you will not defame my name. I will remove my name out of your mouth. That's why in today's time, we have more people who don't know the name of the Most High than we have people who actually know it. And then those of us who know his name, when we try to teach others, they still reject it. They still reject it. They reject it, and they want to stick to the false name, Lord. They want to stick to the false title, God, just because it's a capital G. They want to stick to that, right? They want to stick to that. But he said, because of this, I'm going to remove my name out your mouth. Why do y'all think we don't know his name? This is part of our punishment, because his name is too good for us to even be able to speak. It's too good for us to be able to speak and to constantly defile with our bad actions, our evil actions. This is showing us why the Most High's name is not common amongst our people, because the Most High removed it from our ancestors' mouths because they kept defiling it with their actions. 27. Behold, I will watch over them for evil. He will watch over us for evil. He's going to make sure the evil that he has said is going to follow us is going to happen. Who wants to be on the bad side of the Most High? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you want to be on the bad side of the Most High. I don't want to be on the bad side of the Most High. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get in his word. I'm going to learn it. I'm going to understand it. And I'm going to apply it. But for some of us, that's too much. For some of us, that's too much work. That's too much to ask. There's too much to ask. And so therefore, they forfeit the benefits of being connected to him truly. They forfeit that to accept something that is a counterfeit. Some of y'all love that counterfeit stuff, boy. Y'all love fake. Fake this, fake that. Y'all love fake. Y'all love fake. 27. Behold, I will watch over them for evil and not for good. And all the men of Judah that are in the land of Egypt shall be consumed by the sword and by the famine, until there be an end of them. Yet, verse 28, yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. Who are we talking about here? Yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. He is talking about the remnant that is going to flee out of Babylon, and the remnant that eventually will be regathered through the second Exodus. He's going to line them all up. He's going to gather them up and count them as a remnant of Judah and Israel and bring us back into the land of Judah. He's going to bring us back to Jerusalem. He's going to bring us back to Mount Zion, is what he's referring to here. This goes back to the lesson that I did last. That long 3 and some minute, that long 3 hours and some minute, long video that I did last week. Yeah, I know it was long, y'all. This is what he's referring to. He's referring to yet a small number that escape. Even though he's instructing us today, he's still telling us what to do. But we got to listen. Yet a small number that escaped the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt into the land of Judah. And all the remnant of Judah that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there shall know whose words shall stand, mine or theirs. Mine or theirs. So those ones who puffed themselves up and said, oh no, we're going to do it our way. And they thought that they were saying something. They thought they were doing something. They thought that they had the power to reject the Most High's word. They thought that they can say, okay, No, I don't think we're going to go into captivity, and I don't think that we're going to go through judgment, and I don't think that we're going to see punishment. So, you know what? We're going to cast that down, and we're going to choose to serve this false God over here and continue to live a life of luxury like we've been doing. And we're going to go about our business. So, Most High, you going on over there now, and we're going to go over here. And you do your thing, and we're going to do our thing, and that's just going to be it. They thought they had the power to do that. You know, that sound like some of y'all today. That sound like some of us today. Some of us today have the same mindset as our ancestors. We think that we can reject the Most High because we disagree with him. But what did he say? He said, yet a small number that escape the sword shall return out of the land of Egypt, out of bondage, into the land of Judah. And all the remnant, all of those that was able to escape of Judah, that are gone into the land of Egypt to sojourn there, shall know I don't know why I keep saying those, shall know whose words shall stand mine or theirs. So those who went in, they're not going to come out, but they're going to see that their word didn't mean nothing. It was just word. Because they still went through. They still went through hardship. They still went through persecution. They still went through judgment. They still went through the fire. But they thought they was going to be able to skip that. That's what they thought. That's what they thought. Verse 29. And this shall be a sign unto you, said the Most High, that I will punish you in this place, that you may know that my words shall surely stand against you for evil. He told them, so where you are, I'm going to punish you right there in that place, so that you will know that my words shall surely stand against you for evil. You better understand who you messing with. You better understand who you playing with. You better understand who you coming up against when you decide to honor these false gods. You better understand the consequences of your actions. There's consequences for our actions, people. Just because you're not being dealt with instantly, just because the Most High is not striking people down dead as soon as they do something that violates him, does not mean that you're going to go unpunished. Just because we are not seeing people dropping dead at the thought or at the beginning of their sin, does not mean that their sin is going to go unpunished. Verse 30. Thus says the Most High, behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies. Let's find out who his enemies are. The Most High is... That says the Most High, behold, I will give Pharaoh Hophra, king of Egypt, into the hand of his enemies, and into the hand of them that seek his life. I gave Zedekiah, king of Judah, into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, his enemy, and that sought his life. So, Egypt was taken over by Babylon as well, y'all. Egypt was taken over by Babylon. That's who Judah was running from. Judah was running from Babylon. They was running from the Chaldeans. They was running from them. Judah had been conquered. They had been conquered by Babylon and the Chaldeans. And Judah was able to flee. And in the process of some of them, let's correct that, some of them was able to flee. And in the process of them fleeing, they was fleeing to a place, Egypt, trying to get to Egypt for safety. But while they were going to Egypt, they didn't consider why all of this was happening. They didn't even consider that they were doing wrong and the Most High is now judging them. And being that they didn't consider that they were doing wrong, and that's why they were being judged, once they got to Egypt, their mindset was to continue to do the wrong that they was doing in the land that the Most High had promised them, which was Judah, Jerusalem. So they was going to enter into Egypt with the same mindset. They was going to enter into Egypt to continue to serve false gods. So the Most High said, because of all of this, this is what's happening to y'all. And now that you're in Egypt, I'm going to let y'all continue to serve those false gods. But not only am I going to let y'all continue to serve those false gods, but my word that I say that was going to happen, which is judgment is on you, punishment is on you, you're going to go through some stuff, that's still going to happen in Egypt. And not only is it going to happen in Egypt, but it's going to happen underneath the one that I originally sent to your land, which was the Babylonians and the Chaldeans. They're going to be the ones to overtake the king of Egypt so that you're still going to be under his rulership. See, you wanted to flee to Egypt to escape the punishment of going to Babylon. I told y'all to go to Babylon. I told y'all to go to Babylon, take your beating, take your punishment because you deserved it. And you refused, and you thought you was being slick. And you thought that in order to escape the punishment, you thought that you were slick enough to flee to another nation to seek safety. That's what you thought. You thought that you can outslick me, is what the Most High is saying. But how do you think with your finite mind, like your little pea brain? How do you think with your little pea brain self that you can outwit the Most High? So because you thought that you were slick enough to go to another land and bypass your punishment, bypass your whooping, bypass your judgment is going to follow you wherever you go. Wherever you go, your judgment is going to follow you, which is why our people have been so harshly dealt with at the hands of everybody for centuries, because we are those chosen people. We are from Judah. We come from the kingdom of Judah, y'all. And it is because of these curses that we can backtrack and trace our lineage and realize that we were people that the Most High spoke about. And not only that, but look at the mindset of our people back then. Our people back then knew they were doing wrong, and yet they continued to choose to do wrong because doing them wrong felt better than going through the fire. Nobody likes to be burned. Nobody likes to be chastised. Nobody likes to be punished. Nobody likes to be corrected. Even children don't like to be corrected. Everybody want to do what they want to do. But when you're serving the Most High, let me say that differently, because some of us don't serve him. When you are chosen by the Most High, when you have a covenant with the Most High, when your ancestors made a covenant with the Most High, and that covenant was to follow their children, and this right here was an ongoing, perpetual covenant that cannot be broken. When your people continuously try to ignore what the covenant say, thinking that they're not going to have any consequences because they're choosing death versus life, then they're going to have death. So yes, so we have to understand, we have to know that punishment started a long time ago with our people being exiled. This is the duration or the beginning of our judgment. And our judgment has gone on for a long time, for centuries. Being exiled or removed from the promised land and scattered to every corner of the world. That was part of our judgment. Go to Deuteronomy, is it Deuteronomy chapter 28? Deuteronomy chapter 28, Deuteronomy chapter 48. I think it's Deuteronomy chapter 28. I kind of forget. But you read the blessings and the curses. Understand that the Most High said, if you do these, you'll be blessed. But if you don't do these, you'll be cursed. That was part of the covenant. Our people agreed to that, right? So when you look at all of the curses, our people endured every one of those curses. And that's how you could tell who his people are, because he said that these curses will be on them for a sign. So that you will know who his people are, right? So understand that our people are still scattered today around the world because of this judgment that fell on us. However, we are being awakened in this moment And we have been being awakened for some time now to the facts of our history and to understand that our punishment has ended. And now the regathering of Yah's remnant, his chosen people, is underway. The regathering of his remnant that he constantly speaks about in scripture is underway. From this time above, we have been under judgment for our disobedience, and now judgment is upon the heathens. Judgment is now upon the heathens, and we are being instructed once again on what to do. We are being instructed once again on what to do. Their judgment is not for us. Their judgment is not for us, but as per usual, our people are stiff-necked. We are a stiff-necked people, and we as a whole will not listen to the prophets of Yah, because we enjoy the benefits of serving false gods, and yet a small number shall escape. Be blessed.